Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And anytime we need to get updated information and breaking news, the best place to get that is through Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office. Best way to do that with our buddy Blake Tabor. Blake, thanks for joining us today.
As always, thanks for having me.
You got it. You got it. So, Lieutenant, tell us a little bit about not only the new way that y'all are doing things, but coming to fruition with really working together and making a difference in our community and making things safer.
Absolutely. So, this is a very interesting case, and I know we kind of spoke before we went on recording, but, this is a case that I know our agency is particularly proud of, and I think I can speak for the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office when I say they're extremely proud of this as well. But this was a ring of mini storage burglaries that we ended up solving with the assistance of Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office, and we ultimately took 2 people into custody. We're proud to say. So I'll identify those people now. The first is going to be Brett Anthony Bergeron, 29-year-old male from Houma. You see him photographed here. And also a Robert Thomas Matthews, a 25-year-old Houma man. Again, they were arrested for a multitude of charges, and we'll kind of get into that as we go along.
Okay.
This particular case sort of started throughout April of this year. Again, we kind of highlighted our criminal patrol division on Monday with Martin, where we talked about this newly formed unit that we've had. And of course, we alluded to some, good information on a case that they solved or assisted in solving. And this is that particular case. So ultimately, the criminal patrol division sort of began to receive some reports of mini storage burglaries. Some of those areas included Bayou LaCarpe Road, Bayou Gardens Drive, and Hollywood Road. So as they began to sort of look into these particular cases, again, they started a coordination efforts with our property crimes division, and investigators in that particular division were investigating some other crimes. So again, this shows the importance of communication, not only interdepartmentally, but throughout, jurisdictions in our area. So they began to sort of collaborate on that and realize that maybe this was a bigger problem than we originally thought.
Right.
So, of course, when they spoke to detectives, our property crimes detectives have learned of some information that there were also some additional burglaries happening in Lafourche Parish,
Okay.
which resulted in a suspect vehicle being developed during the course of the Lafourche Parish investigations. As they began to sort of share that information, we quickly determined that that vehicle was in close description to the same type of vehicle that was seen on video surveillance footage in our particular cases.
Wow.
So once we saw that, it was very easy and quick to sort of run with this. So again, we began a collaboration with the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office and began talking about suspects or potential persons of interest in their area. Fast forward to April 18th. We had reports from residents who gave a really good description of a male suspect that was seen rummaging through and around some residences in the Lower Grand Caillou Road area. The description that the residents gave was incredible because it really allowed us to hone in on a certain person where we weren't looking for specific ideologies.
Okay.
So that ultimately led to our criminal patrol division sort of jumping on board with that very quickly and came into contact with Robert Matthews, who was seen on a motorcycle in the area.
Okay. And again, pictured here.
Yep, you see him photographed there. So that particular roadside interview led to Matthews admitting to being involved in some mini storage burglaries. Again, he began to give some information. They coordinated again with detectives and sort of really honed in on the information that he provided. Ultimately, as a result of that, Brett Anthony Bergeron was identified as another person of interest. And subsequently, during that particular traffic stop, Matthews was found to be in possession of a controlled dangerous substance 2 He was also found in possession of a firearm, and he also had drug paraphernalia on him. So he was jailed at that particular time.
Sure.
So again, fast forward a little bit, we began talking with Lafourche Parish and coordinating these efforts, which ultimately led to 2 search warrants being conducted in their jurisdiction. And lo and behold, during those search warrants, we located stolen property, not only from our burglaries, but also from Lafourche Parish as well. So that was extremely beneficial. At that point, we learned that Brett Anthony Bergeron was currently incarcerated in Lafourche Parish on some charges that they had for him that was connected to the burglaries. So ultimately, we conducted an interview with him at the Lafourche Parish Jail, where he again admitted to his involvement in the burglaries in Terrebonne Parish and also linked Matthews to those particular incidents as well. So again, both of them were arrested on at least 15 counts of simple burglary and/or attempted simple burglary charges. Bergeron currently remains jailed in Lafourche Parish, and we're awaiting his transfer to us to face charges here in Terrebonne. And again, you know, Robert Thomas Matthews, same charges. He's currently incarcerated in Terrebonne Parish, and subsequently Lafourche Parish has secured arrest warrants for him once we're done. So again, it was a win-win for everybody. And we couldn't have expected a better outcome on this.
Well, I mean, you look at the ideology about, do we need another division? Do we need to put this in? CPD gets implemented, coordinating, working with your investigators, working with your teams in Terrebonne Parish, working with Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. And again, now the residents can go, okay, man, a sigh of relief. We got these 2 guys who are really wreaking havoc on both parishes, and great communication, great coordination leads to their arrests.
Absolutely. And look, and you know, the people that we talk about it all the time, Keith, you know, our detectives and everything, they do a great job. Our CPD is doing a great job, and it's through great leadership of our agency and the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office that we got that done.
Working together. Blake, we appreciate the updates and congratulations. Great news across the board.
Thanks.
All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.